Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Spirituality at Work vlog. I've just come out of giving a talk here in the city centre in Dublin on change and breaking habits and embracing change as we return to the workplace. And certainly the word of the day is anxiety. It's just about everywhere. It's been the last couple of weeks, particularly leading up to kind of this first week in May, and a lot of people heading back to the office, at least the hybrid model. Huge amount of worries and concerns and nervousness and sleepless nights over anxiety. And in honesty, I felt that today was my first day being back live in person, and I could feel it in myself, and I know a lot of other colleagues who are feeling the same way. So we're all a bit in the same boat. But at the same time, this opportunity is a fantastic opportunity for creating a new workplace, the workplace of the future, a much more compassionate workplace and a more human-centered workplace. And in order to get there, we're going to need to show our vulnerabilities, to be honest about our vulnerabilities, to create that mentally health aware and spiritually health aware next step. We haven't been so bad about talking about mental health, but we tend to be talking about other people's mental health, not our own. So servant leadership of any kind requires us to show our own vulnerabilities. That takes an awful lot of courage. So it is the kind of the future of the workplace if we want to embrace this opportunity. So in terms of looking after yourself, if you haven't perhaps had your first day at work, really minding yourself. Think about what is surrounding you, because we're always priming ourselves, where we tend to have habits not just in doing but also in the people that we see, the voices that we hear, etc. But try thinking about your thinking as a habit in itself, and one that actually can be opted in or out of. It does take a lot of effort. I'm not pretending it's easy. But if you begin to prime yourself for more positivity, more relaxation, and more positivity, I would say, not in terms of trying to look upon going back to work as a performance, you're putting on your social mask again. No, more as kind of going back as the real you, with honesty and integrity and that vulnerability that we all need to bring, in order to give license for other people to also show their vulnerability. So, but in terms of priming yourself for that kind of a more positive approach to going back to work, if you are feeling really nervous, think about who you're listening to. You may need to kind of tap into some of the inspirational speakers. You may want to tap into some comedians, perhaps more podcasts than you usually listen to, and really choosing, instead of choosing perhaps the more informational ones, choosing the comedy ones, things that lift your spirits and make you laugh, or the people that inspire you. Think about who you're spending your time with, particularly in the run-up to going back into the office. Think about your clothing. Do you need, today I actually was in plimsolls. Usually in the past I would have been in high heels all the time if I was kind of on stage, as it were. A much more relaxed workplace and a much more allowing a workplace, which is just fantastic. But it also made me feel more comfortable, and it was something that I intentionally did to make me feel more mobile and that I could kind of move around the room better. So always thinking about these things. What about the spaces that you're in? If you're sitting at a desk in a very enclosed space, your thinking will be quite kind of linear and tight, as it were. Getting yourself out in some space, seeing some perhaps horizons, some blue skies, some greenery or seascapes or whatever it might be, also really important. So your soundscape, your landscapes that you surround yourself with, the voices that you listen to, the music that you listen to. You might want to, on your way into work on your first day, listen to some kind of like upbeat, funny or boppy music or whatever it might be. Anything that puts you in a much more joyful mood. So we're coming out of fear and into love. And you may not want to actually use that word at work. I think we are in the process of building a more loving workplace, but you may not want to say that. If that's a bit too woo for you, no problem. But just remember that it's often useful to just kind of ask yourself, what gear am I in, fear or love? And it's a really quick little question to ask that helps us to kind of shift from one gear and realize that you're there to serve other people, and that takes the focus and the analysis of ourselves off ourselves and out to the outside world, which is also really useful, especially when you're speaking or you feel like you're performing. We tend to analyze, what are they thinking of me, am I doing okay, am I saying the right thing, and all of that kind of thing. So just thinking about it in terms of, who am I serving? How could I be helpful in this conversation, if it's around the canteen table, whatever it might be? Who can I serve today in this moment? All right, so that's it for this week's episode. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.